Panie.
Tak,
Ja to może czekaty zaniewacie.
Tak, ja Van Horst.
Van Horst Town.
Как вам нравится Сильвестр Сталлоне?
Rocky Rambo, он большой пуф, да?
George,
Yes, mate.
this is from Eddie the barman.
Ah, don't tell me. A presentation case of Chivas Regal.
No, it's a book.
You astonish me.
Спасибо большое, спасибо большое.
Russian, see? Well, this needs a new spring.
He turned up last night flat broke. Eddie said he can play the odd gig if the bands will have him.
How much?
The going rate's 20 quid.
Thank you very much.
Does he,
Vladimir,
Do you speak in English?
Apparently. You want to meet him?
No, not just yet.
I've asked the DG to appear informally before the Standing Committee of MPs. The old man will have none of it.
And quite bloody right, too. What do they think this is? An open society?
Surely we can cough up a couple of relatively harmless examples.
What, we?
You are actually best placed.
Willie, if I provide a few harmless examples of how we use secret money, then my lords of the Treasury will say, why should any of it be secret? No. Everything my department engages upon is too vital. The security of the nation can be used as examples of penny-pinching exercised by these people. Respectfully declined, dear boy. So must you.
I may have to advise to the contrary.
You'll do as I'm bloody well told, Willie.
I'll do what I think's best for the department, Bill. Take care.
Enough saxophones.
I was looking for Mr. Green.
Barnet, plot 7 row K. But maybe I can help you.
Yes. I was wondering, did Mr. Green hang on to this gilt-framed painting was left here by my great-uncle?
It was a painting of the Winter Palace in a gilt frame. But that was in '68.
Yes, I was in Luxembourg in '68.
Comrade. Hatice chai.
No.
Come in.
No.
You come in.
No. I must conduct this like any other transaction. You have the radio?
Just as instructed.
Inside lid of case is maker's label.
And behind it is the one-time pad on perspex.
Destroy the old one, put this in its place. We are very pleased with you. Mr. Green was highly thought of.
He wondered if the day for this would ever come.
They're also serving those who are waiting. Now, the equipment must only be handed over to people who use these phrases. Memorize them.
Yes, I will.
Now, please. Excuse me.
Yes.
You are sure?
Yes.
До свидания.
До свидания, comrade.
Hey, great, thanks. When you got a minute, I've got something for you. What?
Fairly Catholic musical tastes in here.
Eddie says that I can play the sax here one night.
That'll be the night I'm washing my hair.
Philistine.
Bill Dugdale left a message on the answer phone.
Oh, let's forget Dugdale, can we? That devious sod cost me 7 months of my life.
George, we have exactly £314 and 17 pence in the post office account.
And they still haven't paid their final whack for that last bit of nonsense. 7 months in Nick and a year in exile. Those people are nothing but grief.
Hey, George, fantastic. You fixed it.
Edward, this is a rubbish clock.
Oh, great. Break it to me gently.
By rubbish, I mean you got it off a skip, back of Blenheim Street. Saw it myself there last Thursday.
Great sax player. Do you want to meet him?
Why would George want to meet him?
2 sax players, right?
Oh, I'm not in the same class as him.
Lucy says you're very good.
Oh.
I lied.
You George Bulman?
Yeah.
Telephone.
Oh, right.
Well, I suppose I better take it. It's gift wrapped.
George Bulman here.
George, this is Bill Dugdale. I need a little help, old man.
Listen, Clarence, the last time you needed a little help, I finished up in the chokey.
I recommended you for an award. Now, believe me.
As it happens, I don't.
And you're to be most highly recompensed. I'm sorry about the delay.
Yeah, I'll believe that when I see the check.
But this is a personal matter. A private contract between you and me.
Concerning what?
My personal safety.
And your magic department employs no goons to protect you? Come on, give me a break.
I got pink grapefruit. Chummy, by the way, is a genuine Russian by the name of Vladimir. Turned up a couple of days ago, flat broke, and asked if he could sit in on a session. Eddie's story checks out.
Where does he live?
No one knows. Not that sort of a place, George. And I got mint and herb tea. Thought we'd try it. Well, I will if you won't.
Yuck.
It's good for you.
Play the answer machine.
George, this is me again. I'm sorry to be a bore, but I really do need some modicum of assistance. Far be it from me to invoke the old Pals Act, but do be a good chap and get in touch. I'm pushing accounts about your outstanding fee. Yours as ever was, Clarence.
Switch it off. Well, what do you think?
He sounds less pompous than usual, less sure of himself.
He's never admitted it before.
What?
That his real name is Clarence.
Maybe he really needs help.
Sod him. Let him drink Malmsey.
That Clarence drowned.
This one's a born survivor.
What about the Russian?
Yeah, sure, there's lots of Russians in London. It's just that there's something about this one.
Bill, have you ever been to Afghanistan?
Oh, I flew across the border for a couple of months. The early 50s. Some little job in Tajikistan.
Bill, the cabinet secretary's bending my ear.
Oh, I know. The secret vote and the defense estimate.
Well, indirectly.
Yeah. Oh, Biffy, with the most monumental respect, what in God's name is the point in having a secret service if we have to pop around the Whitehall every time they want to stick in their long proboscises?
You could lie.
It's not my style.
God almighty, Bill, it's part of the job.
Yes, but not to one's peers, particularly democratically elected ones. No, you won't get a towel out of there. You press the thing and the hot air comes out. Oh!
God, I hate these things. In any event, there was a discreet hint that your blasted integrity might be rewarded with a knife.
Upon my early retirement. And if I refuse to fall, will I be pushed?
What nonsense. Where do you think we are? Bulgaria? Oh, my hands are wetter now than when I started. Oh.
Ну, Бомбу, давай сюда! Ну, давай мне поиграть! Великолепный вид самолет! Ну, давай мне Бомбу!
Here we are, a few quid away from the breadline, and you're following a Russian sax player around town. Really, sometimes I wonder.
Why would a sax player spend two separate playtimes gazing through a mesh at a bunch of kids?
He's a child molester.
No, he's not that.
Then he's a kidnapper.
Could be warm.
Unless, of course, one of them's his. He's divorced and his wife's remarried. George, is someone paying you to follow this up? Is that it?
Not yet.
But you think there might be a case in it?
Well, there's something in it. Mark my words. Oh, bum.
What? What is it?
just watched a £5 note.
Damnation. Who's that?
I didn't notice you'd signed out one of those, Bill.
Why should it be of any interest to you as to what I had or had not signed out?
I've been running a check on duty officers. Firearm chits are a function of duty officers, Bill. Is something wrong?
No. No, absolutely not. No. It's just that with the lights out, you two look damn sinister.
You know, if we've been two members of the public, a senior civil servant produces pistol. Imagine the scandal.
What exactly do you want, Willie?
Want? Oh, no, this is a complete coincidence. Jake and I were looking at an apartment.
You coming in?
We'll walk.
Он часто здесь появляется?
О, 2-3 раза в эту неделю. Думаете, что он британский полицейский?
Не знаю. Он очень вам надоедает?
Ну, не очень, но только, понимаете, неспокойно.
Я займусь с ним сам.
Damn nearly didn't recognize you in that absurd chapeau.
I really don't want to talk to you, Clarence.
Something juicy, is it? Well, don't let me stop you.
I would swore I'd never touch divorce, but you know, it pays the rent. What precisely do you want, Bill?
George, I have a serious problem. Now, please hear me out.
All right, go on.
Someone in Moscow, some Rusky hood, wants to come over.
It happens.
And this Ivan character wants to sample the delights of the West.
Yeah, sure. Skinheads, unemployment, junk food and page 3.
Well, a bit jaundiced today, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, he's afraid to come in through our usual routes.
Why?
George, I think we have a wrong-un in the department.
What, again? Yeah, well, it's been 3 months. It must be about time, yeah.
Yes, but the senior man, and I think he knows I'm onto him.
So go to special branch. They are immaculate about such matters.
George, I want to hire STG to watch my back.
STG is not to be seduced. Now, vacate the motor or I'll have you for importuning.
Time was, Bulman, when you had a degree of public spirit.
Time was when I lived in ignorance of the total hypocrisy of the Ministry of Deceit. Goodbye, Mr. Dugdale.
And goodbye to you, George Kitchener Bulman. I can't say I blame you.
Where's George?
I am not my partner's keeper, Eddie.
Mind if I join you?
Yes, actually, because all I want is my coffee and the crossword.
Здравствуйте. It means hello.
Hello? I thought you'd be up there playing the sax.
It's not my scene, this so-called New Orleans jazz to...
Revisionist?
Yes.
What are you doing here?
Well, it's not anywhere seats.
No, in London.
Vladimir, that is me, loves the games of chance. Those little things with diamonds. Bobbing over your mask.
Cards, playing cards.
Yes, yes. And so I have no more English rubles, so I must make some money to get back to ship.
Where's that?
North of Scotland.
Won't they clap you in irons?
It's a merchant vessel. I am no military man sport.
A merchant ship.
Fish processor. We make fish meal for agricultural feeding. Vladimir Ragushkin is #1 cook.
#1 cook and sax player. You could open a restaurant here.
I would miss my Russian.
You could open a restaurant there.
I was not member of communist youth. Huh? I have no old school scarf.
Tie.
Хорошо. I hate this music. Why are you following me?
I'm not with you.
Today, at Soviet Trade Mission School for Children, you were watching me with empty kolyaska. Pram.
You've got this wrong. I'm a private detective, but I wasn't following you.
Pull out the belly, it has legs on.
It was a boring divorce job. You know, adultery. I did see you there. But you're not my case, Vladimir. Can I call you Vlad?
Okay. My little boy, he's Yevgeny Andreevich. He's 7 years old. His mother and I fell in love 9 years ago. And she's married to an ambitious diplomat who gives my son his name. So I go there to see him to remind me of happy times.
And that's why you're in no hurry to return to your ship.
I saw no people committing нарушение супружеской ревности, adultery.
Ah, well, you have to know where to look. Can I buy you a drink?
Ah, oh. Sorry. Come in, Bill. We're almost through. In fact, I think that just about winds it up, Willie.
Really?
Young Willie Bruce is full of ideas. He's writing a paper on management restructuring. Wanted access to personnel files going back absolutely ages.
Is that all, Malou?
Perks of the office, my dear. Bill, this business of a sanitized briefing to the select committee. You're absolutely right.
I am.
If we admit to some items of expenditure, the secret vote can be discussed outside this building, and then, per se, they are not all that secret and would not qualify under the Act. Quite brilliant of you to spot it.
Brilliant.
So, what are we applying ourselves to at this moment?
Well, not much, Michael. Things have been pretty quiet of late.
So Vlad says...
Vlad?
He jumped ship a few days ago, lost all his money in a poker game, and he's playing the sax until he has enough to get back.
Well, how does that explain the kindergarten?
One of them's his.
A boy, age 6 or 7, name of Yevgeny.
Give that man a coconut.
Oh, well, it was the only kid he was interested in. Do you like fenugreek?
Could eat it to a band playing. Did they look alike?
I couldn't tell. They're all muffled up. Cheeky little fella, though. Jena Peristan, Tanya Kalchunya.
Since when could you speak Russian?
Well, you remember Pushkin, the crazy Moscow detective? Well, you know, I felt I ought to learn, make an effort, you know. Then his daughter wrote to say that he croaked it.
He spoke remarkable English.
Yeah, quite remarkable. Got it all from the books of P.G. Wodehouse. Top hole, old boy. Dash it all, sport. Yeah, he was a bleeding tonic.
Vlad used that expression this evening. I am not a military man, sport, he said.
Did he now?
Begonias of late this year. Sparrows are already leaving Moscow. Damn. Damn.
I'll get it.
Leave it on answer. It's Dugdale.
Hello, this is STG. George Bulman.
How do you know?
My knee's giving me jip.
If you'd leave your name and number after the tone...
Maybe he really does need help.
Sod him. Where was he when I needed him?
George. This is Clarence. Reference our conversation. The person concerned appears to already be in the city. And he's clearly worried about his safety. Now, George, there's one factor that already involves you in all this, whether you like it or not. I do not feel able to move from my apartment. So do be a good chap and come around soonest. I know you're there, you bugger.
Well, what do you reckon?
I think if we don't go round there right now, I go on my own.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't want anything to happen to the old goat.
He's in a hurry?
Yeah, pull up.
Sure.
Wait here.
Jesus, yes. That's poor Mr. Dugdale right enough. It's not an ambulance you'll be wanting for that, Constable.
Fear no more the heat of the sun, nor the winter's furious rages. Thou, thy earthly task, hast done, Bill. Home art gone. Home, now.
What did he mean? It already involves you.
I think I know.
Terrible business. Mr. Bulman, you've met Willie Bruce.
To my regret.
Mr. Bulman packs a strong right hook. We had a altercation once.
Then perhaps you should come and work for me. Keep good order and discipline.
I would rather stick needles in my eyes.
Had George seen Bill recently?
Not since the last job he did for you people.
What was that?
As if you didn't know.
Earth-shattering though some of our jobs are for those involved. I'm afraid I find life so busy, I can't remember everything. Oh, I'm sorry, that must seem very heartless.
George went into prison on an assignment. Bill liked the idea so much he tried to get him lumbered with the whole 2-year stretch.
Of course, I remember. And Bulman has never spoken to us since.
He said he'd put George up for some kind of award.
Good Lord. Bill was such a tease.
Your office still owes us the final payoff.
I'll speak to accounts. Mr. Ginty, I want to give you a friendly word of advice.
Which is?
I know George Bulman's fearsome reputation. Please advise him not to pursue this matter in the slightest degree.
I can only assume by such an utterance that you desire him to do just the opposite.
You must interpret as you think fit.
Did Mr. Dugdale seem upset or preoccupied anyway?
Oh, no, sir. Always charming he was. Always a joke or a crack about the potato famine.
What a wag.
Oh, yes, sir. Great wit was Mr. Dugdale.
Visitors?
Sorry?
Did he have many visitors?
Occasional cocktail party, his married daughter, and his sisters, sometimes the grandchildren.
And no foreign gentlemen or ladies?
Now, ladies, I wouldn't know about, sir.
Ah. Right, well, after you, Claude.
And he was never a great one for strangers.
Indeed.
Lot of blood, was it?
It was too dark to see. But I recognized Mr. Dugdale's shoes. Foster's weather beaters. And his hat.
Hat.
Yeah. Patterdale Trilby. Only one Duggars ever wore.
Duggars.
That's what we called them.
You hated those jokes, though, didn't you?
Sir?
Ah, rabbit food. Good, is it?
Get off.
How's Vlad?
He keeps glancing in this direction.
Lucy, I need to talk to him, but first we've got to separate him from his shadow.
Shadow?
Yeah, don't tell me you haven't spotted him. Look, there's that bloke standing over there near the fruit machine. Look, him. Him. What?
Willie Bruce has just come in.
Oh, sublime. Now, look, if he talks to that embassy hood, that means that Dugdale's tale begins to click.
Well, well, well.
Hell's teeth. I'm losing my touch.
Don't tell me you hadn't sussed Eddie for a spook.
No. And you?
Never mind, George. We'll make a detective of you yet.
No, it's all right. No, I'm going.
Going? How can you go at a time like this?
Well, if he's come here to lift Vladimir, there's nothing we can do. But if he's just testing the water, I need to make some arrangements.
George, who exactly is Vladimir?
As Gypsy Rosalie once said, all will shortly be revealed.
Ah, George. Now, why am I not surprised to see you?
Because, Sir Michael, you're not so dumb as some people think. What precisely is your interest in the Russian who calls himself Vladimir Rogoskin?
Not a name that rings bells.
He might be connected with Bill Dugdale's death.
The police opinion is Bill's death was an accident.
Yes, but you're in two minds about it. Or else you would not have suggested that I investigate.
I felt I had suggested the exact opposite.
Please, please. Big vodka.
Coming up.
Cheers, sport.
Советский или белый, или перебежчик.
Советский.
Что вы делаете здесь?
Стараюсь достаточно заработать, чтобы вернуться на корабль.
Это шутка. Товарищ.
Не до шуток.
Или ты собираешься отступиться?
Оставь меня.
Смотри, я работаю в советском представительстве в Хайгельте.
I didn't think that you were Tory MP.
Подбирай слова.
Ты Пронинев. Маленький человек. КГБ посольстве.
Или ты? Ты ГРУ.
Say, Vlad. Теперь, пожалуйста, возвращайся к своим обязанностям. Виктор Андреевич Пронинев. Второй секретарь. И оставь меня. А не то мои люди позаботятся о твоем будущем.
Да, конечно, конечно, хорошо. Я не хотел вас видеть.
Sir Michael, What if I were to tell you that Bill believed that there was, and I quote, a wrong 'un in your outfit?
I would listen.
And if I were to add that Bill was dealing with a potential defector from Moscow who was scared to deal with your service because of said traitor?
I would ask, do you, George Bulman, have access to this person?
Perhaps.
Then I would invite you to make contact with the deputy director of a sister service, one that does not exist, and arrange with his good offices to have the hapless Soviet hood taken off the streets and accorded secure hospitality.
And how do I make contact with such a grey area?
Come now, George. I shouldn't think that is beyond you.
Then the Bulman myth has been exaggerated.
Ring that number day or night. And a word to the wise.
What's that?
Time is not on your side.
Well?
Tommy's inside.
Well, keep Obbo from near the door. When you see us move towards the kitchen, bring that frog motor around the back.
Sure.
And if the funny people turn up, we'll go for plan B.
Oh, I hope they do.
Ah, Vladimir. Mind if I join you?
How do you know my name?
Give me a break, Tavarish. You've been trailing your coat for me ever since you fetched up in London. Staged a dozen little charades, expressly to winkle out George Bulman.
You are Bulman?
Yeah, and you playing the saxophone, which only just happens to be my favourite instrument, and in this club. Oh, come on, leave it. I mean, don't tell me you mend clocks, too.
No, I juggle. You're George Bulman?
You juggle? Vladimir, I believe that you are a GRU officer who was fed into the UK off a fishery process ship in Scotland. I further believe that Jaina probably is your son. And I imagine that you have information which Her Majesty's government would be most grateful to receive. Maybe I can help, but it all rests on the answer to one question. This use of the word sport. How did you know how to use it?
It's from Ivan Sergeyevich Pushkin.
How did you know Pushkin?
But I am son. Ragoshkin is not a real name. I am Yuri Ivanovich Pushkin.
No kidding?
He said, if ever I was in England and I'm in trouble, then I am to say, what horse sport and so on. And dash it all, the last words you ever said to each other is goodbye, stary drug. And then he said, you are learning my language, and you said, well, it's a start, yes? Yes?
Yes. How did he die? Your sister wrote, but she didn't say.
Well, they kicked him out of the KGB.
He was never the man for that.
Into the militia, the black market squad, and it was outside the Moscow Stadium. And this big fellow hit him with iron bar. Oh, it was a dashed bad show.
God rest him. It's the way he would have chosen. Look, do you want to come over?
If I defect, she will join me. They both will.
Well, the British service is a fairly sober organisation, Yuri. What do you have to offer?
I am here with a list of British sympathizers and foreign agents to aid our Spetsnaz units.
Spetsnaz?
Yes, it's like your SAS, only we have 80,000 targeted on Britain in the event of war. This is fact sport.
Yuri, you've got yourself a deal. Okay, plan B, let's go.
Hey, do you know I got rhythm?
Well, I hear that you are pretty cool.
The song, you direct.
Yes, yes.
I've got rhythm, I've got music, I've got one man who asks for nothing more. I've got daisies in green pastures, I've got one man who could ask for anything more. Old man trouble, I don't mind him, you won't find him round my door. I've got starlight, I've got sweet dreams, I've got one man who could ask for anything more, who could ask for anything more. Daisies in green pastures, I've got my man who could ask for anything more. Old man trouble, I don't mind him, you won't find him round my door. I've got starlight, I've got sweet dreams, I've got my man who could ask for anything more, who could ask for anything more.
Pushkin's lady got the little boy and herself into British hands at 8 o'clock this morning. So I am informed.
Yes, sir. On the way to school.
Excellent work. George, perhaps once he names the mole, we shall have a closer understanding of Bill Dugdale's death.
If he was murdered, it was done by experts.
And?
You are experts.
We do not kill people. It's against the law.
Never, ever, ever.
Never. Come now, George. Spit it out.
Bill was number 3 in your organisation, right?
Indeed.
And in the fullness of time, he would have stepped into your shoes.
Bill was too old. Number 3 was as far as he'd ever go.
Yeah, but a younger man. Come on, Sir Michael. Who is getting his job?
Actually, it's Willie Bruce.
Mine eyes are full of tears. I cannot see. And yet, salt water blinds them not so much.
But they can see a sort of traitor. Here?
Richard II.
I know where it's from, George. But what do you say?
I wouldn't let Willie Bruce within 100 miles of the top table.
Oh. What the hell were you playing at last night?
Mr. Bulman was acting on my instructions.
Oh, I see.
Before Bill Dugdale died, he had identified the Russian sax player as a GRU major, intent on provocation, pretending to be a defector.
Provocation?
So dear George here had a word in his shell-like and escorted him safely back to his ship off Scotland. He is no longer this department's concern.
I hear you're investigating Bill's death.
For me? Oh, good God, no, absolutely not. No. But justice will be done, Willie. Chavo.